Yo, so the mouse died. Oh, it died last night. It's really making me really sad. It's really tiny. I think it was a mouse, but yeah, this happens every time. And Jib just came back from Blackpool last night. He's got to go take his tent down next week, but he said he came back at like 4 this morning, and I had it. Here it is. It's so tiny. It was really cute. I kept having to cuddle it in here because he was kept getting a little cold here and there if I left it for too long. So I put it in this box, and then I had it in here in the day when it was like crawling around because it was trying to move, and I was trying to help it strengthen its front legs because forward like busted one of its back legs. But yeah, I've been in quite a lot of pain as well. I was in pain this morning as well. So yeah, my endo's been a bit meh, but I'm feeling a little bit better today than I was the other day. But yeah, I'm gonna bury it soon. Jib comes back. God, that's what happens in nature, you know. The bunny she brought in, as I was looking after this yesterday, she brought into a bird. A bird got in here the other day. I was chasing it round, trying to help it get out. But a bird came in here yesterday as I was trying to feed ducks. It woke up, wanted food. There was a bird being thrown around, feathers everywhere that she'd killed, and then something else. So things die all the time, and Jib goes, "Oh, that happens in nature." I go, "But we're a part of nature. Why does the feminine energy of the mum always have to cry or have to, you know, if this happens in nature all the time, why have we been programmed that it's such a massive thing? It's such a massive thing, the death, you know, like." Why do I have to feel like, oh, and crave for it, you know, and all this stuff? I had it crawling on me, and it's like I've held a baby, I've held small like baby things, you know, like baby cats and dogs. I've been there and they've been born and pulled them out and things like that and pierced the sac, and I've been there when things are born, and I've been there when things have died. But to hold something that small did something else to my head. It was like, you know, because you think of all the rats and the little things and the things we just killed in it, and then I think, oh, it's like a tiny part of like Mother Earth's creation, you know. It's like everything that my body does on a really tiny scale, and it doesn't really matter what scale it's on. And then you start thinking about all the insects and how tiny they are, and then how do they feel? Do you know what I mean? How do their senses work? And you think about all you know, just tiny animals. How do they intake the world? Like, why do we have so much attachment to things, that cycles that depart and move on and things like that, you know? And this being like a little mouse, you know, like most people up my stables here and that, or like people I've grown up around, would go around and kill mice and rats and things because they invade places. But are we invading their space? Do you know what I mean? All these things that happen, and it's like when you get a tiny baby like this, that it's like I have nothing but to help this. Nothing, like everything within me says to help this. Or when she brings things in, everything within me goes, if that was me in that situation and someone was dying or that was happening, I would go and help that thing. I would want to be helped to survive. So it's like here the other day when I needed things for my lady things, and I said, oh, like I need to go to the shop, and I couldn't walk in. The guy goes, no, but I didn't tell him it was for that because I look alright, do you know what I mean? But I can't. So the guy went on a bike for me. But when you hold little animal like this, like it's helpless, it's got no mum, it's just come into the world, doesn't understand anything. I don't understand exactly what it needs. It needs its mum, it needs its mum's milk to grow, it needs its mum's warmth and that. So I can try and be that for a bit, but I can't do that all the time because it's a little mouse. Like I'll cuddle it and I'll feed it and I'll love it like it's a part of me. It's got the same skin as me. It hasn't grown its hair yet, but its skin, if as an artist, if I'm going to draw it, its skin, yeah, is the same as my skin. It's the same as my skin. Like I used to working in London on the river in one place where these be dead behind a coffee machine. People are lining up to pay like, I don't know, really expensive £6 to £8 whatever for a coffee because it's in London on the river, and yet there's things like this dead on the floor because people are killing them because they're coming for business. Yet you think of how much work these things actually do down in the drains and stuff, and everyone goes, oh, it's a rat or whatever. I don't actually think this is a rat. I think it is a shrew because it's so tiny. But it's like doing its own little mechanism thing. It's just come into the world like it doesn't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? And it's a bit like us going through the consciousness shift right now, I guess, with a lot of people coming out one world into another. Like, this is kind of what the life and rebirth does, isn't it? It's that we're living through it, so it's like a completely different reset. If you're alive going through death, it's kind of but this thing is like so just, you know, just crying for heat, for love, you know. And I kept putting it on me yesterday, and he was so cute. He was like cuddling into me, nuzzling into me. But I fed it some cow's milk and some water and that, and it took it in, and it was weeing and pooing, and it was fine. But I did think it weren't going to survive because I think forward punched at the back of it. But at the same time, there's not part of me that would go and put this outside and just let it die outside. Because again, if that was me, I'd want, or at least I would like give it a bit of love, because it doesn't even know what it is itself, does it? It's just a baby right now. Just it hasn't even got eyes or anything. It's just trying to learn how to walk and stuff. But yeah, even when she brought it in, she left it. She didn't even want to play with it or anything. I don't even think she understood what it quite was. She's never brought anything in this small before. But like I said, to me, I've held a lot of things that are babies, but to me, held in something so small like this, that is like its own little world, you know, so tiny. He's still breathing, moving. He's did something else to me thinking about everything. But yeah, I'm gonna bury it today. But there is that thing, you know, Jib goes, oh, you don't have to think about it, it's the death. And like when I was younger, cats used to bring stuff into my house all the time. When I was younger, I used to live in like field surrounded houses and stuff. Then 2 a.m, be pulling my bed apart to get it out, and sometimes my stepdad at the time whatever would kill it straight away because it would be in too much pain. The cat would either just play with it and kill it slowly, or then you get, you know, things like this. There's not part of me that wanted to kill that yesterday. I just wanted to cuddle it and nurture it till it did what it was going to do, which will probably pass away because everything that's come through has been damaged, has passed away, like the rabbit or the bird I found or the other things. So, you know, it could have these things for a little bit, and they bring messages and they bring energies that change it. Because I was going through my period at the time and I had problems with my endo, so like having this that's just been born, like not a stillborn but alive, and then holding it whilst I'm in pain, having my period, which is an egg anyway, you know what I mean. The whole like life and death rebirth cycle is important, and this just shows it over and over again when I'm dealing with these things firsthand. And this is the kind of stuff I want to be doing, interacting, and not, you know, maybe I have to understand it from this angle before, but the whole day yesterday felt magical to me, and I just wanted to share why. And maybe we are being programmed to harvest out stuff maybe we shouldn't be perceiving in the first place about the life and the death and the rebirth. You know, looking at all the NHS stuff, are people meant to be being kept alive this long in pain and things like that all the time? You know, I think about myself, all the pain I've been in and all this stuff, but then it's not always inflicted. Like I think there is other ways we should be living which should harmonise all of us. But yeah. Kay's got the other rabbit. I don't even know if that's still alive as well, because Thor brought in another rabbit the other day, but it wasn't so damaged and it was a bit older, so it was quite big, whereas this is really tiny. So yeah. Oh, one more thing. Wait, I'll go bury you with the other ones outside. Later, little mum. I've been painting some of these as well. I did some of them quick by hand, and then I'm just going to do a few oil paint layers. I've worked with some of the wood and some of it not, but I just done like really quick colour codes, because then I've done some quite energetic and some quite flowing with the wood, so I've left some of the wood coming through in some of the images. So I've tried to work with the grain. Like this one I think I'm going to keep because I quite like it. So I've cut the wood deliberately on these grains. I think I'm going to give some to Danny so he can put some crystals on for some art prints stuff. Because some of the flow of the grain I think would work well with some of the crystals, because obviously they're both the same grainings. Some of them. And then I've left some on the back so I can still use them, and I've been like doing reading with runes. With throwing these up and down, because obviously some edges are sharper and some are smoother and things like that, and I can read using them. This is one I've left a bit bigger, with quite a lot of the wood grain in it. But like they can land any way up, like done some splats, silver on that. That's did that with my finger, quite quick wash one. Just gonna go over these with oil. But yeah, I'm just still resting today because my body feels really tired. And I haven't had much medicine this time either. Well, Jib just got back, so my body's been extra stressed on this one. Right, these are easy for me to like carry around with them plain as well, so if I go places and someone just met, I can just do them quicker. It's got quite a lot of purple, you can't see in that. It's not picking up very much the colours very well. But yeah, they're just ways I can interact with, you know, different age groups, different races, different background people. Because I've done a variety of different styles here, and there'll be one they're drawn to at some point, because they're from all different world musics and stuff. Yeah, right, I'm gonna go now. I think I'm gonna go back to sleep for a bit. But yeah. And then bury a little shrew mouse. I think it's a shrew. I don't know. It could be a rat, but I think rats would be a bit bigger. The shrews are so tiny, and that is really tiny, so yeah. Anyway, a lot of love, and I'll be back on soon. I've got loads of other ideas I've been writing down. It's been coming out like a bit like just a spew, like throughout the night, in the morning, falling asleep. During the day, I've been carrying around books with me, and then now I've literally written about 5 pages of the same kind of pool of information, but it's coming through in loads of different fraction. It's really diverse, but it's not at the same time. But I think it's to do with helping unravel this in a new direction, or doing it not with the way I'm getting the images, but it's like segregated in my head, and then it pulls together some areas and it takes it apart, and I feel like I just need to go like within right now sleep, let my head readjust it all, and then wake up, and then I'll see it a bit clearer, because right now it's kind of like if you're making a film or you're making a project and then you don't show it till it's kind of finished. My head's at the moment is making its own film, or like how I would make a painting is I'd make a world, so in my head I'd go, I want a bit of that. Like one painting, for example, I said to Rosie inside, because I say this to a lot of people when I meet them, like, if you could be 3 animals and mirror yourself out of those animals, what 3 animals would you be, or 5 animals? And then depending on what them 3 are, like if it's a bird, it would be air, you'd be gliding, and you could like pick 3 things to like pinpoint. That person says pick how they would like inspire in a painting. And I asked a few people recently, but I did this thing with myself quite a few years ago where I said, what would you be if you was in a painting? So I put myself in different suits of the earth. So I said, oh, in the sky I'd be like an eagle, whatever. On the rock there's gonna be a roaring lion. If I was under the water, I'd be octopus. If I was insect, I would be this. If I was, and I did all these different things that I could relate to in nature through my energy, my soul energy, that I thought refracted out of things that I understood or could see, or whatever, and then I put it in painting that would mirror something from internal, from how I bounced off the earth. And then I did that. So I asked a few people how they did that as well. And anyway, I'm ranting now, so I'm going to go because I need to sleep and rest. And yeah, I am healing from this, but I'm still in a lot of pain. So when I have these days where I'm like disabled, I really need them to do that. And it's like done my head in again this week, because I just said to Jib, we came back like my body's been sore because I helped him lift a few things, but there wasn't that much. If I did it like 2 weeks ago, it would have been alright, because I did it just before the day before my period, and my period's come early again, so it's even caught me off guard again. And it's like I'm having a go at myself because I'm trying to get stuff done out here, and I'm having a go at myself because of it, like, because I need to rest. But it catches me off guard. Like, I haven't helped Jib all month, apart from the day just before my period. Why did it happen on that day? Do you know what I mean? So then it feels like it's pissed me off again, because I feel like I'm not in control of myself. And now I feel like I'm tired. I have to be looked after like a little baby, like the little mouse yesterday. I was like looking after it, but I need to look after myself. And then it's like, oh well, if everything in nature looks after itself, like that animal, its mum might be looking for it. I don't know if mum might not even know it's given birth to it if she took it straight away. So then, does the earth mourn for that stuff, or does the stuff on the earth just look after itself? Because like right now, if I'm just to look after myself, then I'm dying. So we need to be helping each other. But if you ain't got the money, it's like no one helps you. So like, is that right? Is it the right dopamine track, like I was saying, for someone to feel for something else? Like, because I really felt for that little mouse. I had to look after it, But then in nature, would things look after other things? Do they just look after self? So then maybe they just look after themselves dying. Like I would be looking after myself before I got better. Now it's like, am I dying? My body's telling me it needs to rest, needs to heal. But yet to carry on, to pay to exist, to still be sick to pay to exist, is me killing myself. I'm dying off. So I don't want to be doing that. I need to be healing, but I need to be in places that are healing, and not places that are stress fueling into this place. When you're not doing it, then it doesn't look great. But then everyone's meant to be paying to exist, so. But the earth ain't paying to exist, the earth ain't paying for food. A lot of things on here aren't. There's more of that stuff existing than there is us. And not everyone on the earth is even paying to exist, are they? Or are they? Is everyone paying rent everywhere on the earth? Do you know what I mean? How should I be contributing to the world if I'm not contributing money? I could contribute art, but not everyone appreciates art in the same way I do. So I have to hit people where they appreciate. But then we should all just appreciate the same things, and then that would have more appreciation in those places. Would grow more than everyone having separate ones, which just about counteract. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stop talking now because I need to go and rest and drink this tea. And then maybe upload this later because he's just turned the generator off. So yeah, See you guys soon. A lot of love.